Well, today is Father's Day, and as a church, we always love to take this time every year to celebrate all the different men that are a part of our lives. And we just want to say that we love you, and we're so thankful that you're a part of our church community, and pray today that you feel celebrated. And just thank you for the difference that you make in each of our lives. And yesterday we shared a video on our Facebook page that really highlighted some of the key men in the Bible and how they made a difference in other people's lives as well. And even throughout our series of the story, we continue to see the impact of men of faith. And the video showed David from 2 Samuel. He made space at his table for Mephibosheth, who was the son of Jonathan. And he made sure that he would be looked after for the rest of his life. It also showed that we continue to see the prophets come into the stories, and they just acknowledge and make fact that we need to keep seeking justice, keep looking after the vulnerable, and that this is simply an act of worship. And next week we will look at the book of Esther that Mark will go through, and we see even in this story that Mordecai, he cared for his cousin Esther as if she were his own daughter, and he helped her to see her place in God's purpose. And in this week we see it again in the book of Ezra, and we continue to see how God puts the right people in our lives at the right time. And so right from the start we see God at work in people. And so we see the king of Persia, Cyrus, they've just taken over Babylon, and the Lord moves Cyrus to let the Israelites go back to Jerusalem and start rebuilding the temple. See, God used Cyrus as the right man at the right time. And in chapter 3 of Ezra, we start to see the rebuilding of the temple take place. And Joshua and Zerubbabel, they are there and they lead the rebuilding of the temple. But many others, they join together to help in making this take place. And it is a great demonstration of the community and the power of it, and how using your gifts in each of these ways as well. And again, we see God using the right people for the right time. And in chapter 5, again, the prophets come to save the day. See, opposition came to when Joshua and the team, they were trying to rebuild the temple. And so Haggai and Zechariah, they come, they're the prophets of the time, and they encourage people to start rebuilding the temple again, to start and keep our focus back on God. And again, God brings the right people at the right time. And then in chapter 7, we meet Ezra, and he's a teacher. He's a teacher of the law. He knew them back to front, and he comes at the end to bring everyone back to the roots. See, he was devoted to the scripture and the prayer. And he was about restoring worship and bringing spiritual revival back to the people again. And again, we see God use the right people at the right time. And as you move through the book of Ezra, you see so many different people coming together to rebuild the temple in Jerusalem. And each of them playing their crucial role. None could be done without the other. And today is a day where we celebrate all the different men that are in our own lives, each playing a different but a significant role in building us up as individuals and building us up as the church. And so when you think about this time, many of you will thank all the different men of your life. And for me, it's my dad, it's my father-in-law. I think of my pa, and I think of all the other men that God has placed in my life and who has blessed me. But there was one man, as I wrote this message, that stood out and was linked to this Ezra story. And that's Simon Watts. And he's a man that I'm forever grateful for, and many of you might know him. But he was the head of PDHP at Innerborough when I was there working as a PDHP teacher. And I moved to Innerborough when Jess and I were going through the journey of trying to have kids. And God knew that I needed Simon in my life because he's a man who is an encourager, he's a man of great faith, and he used his own journey, his own experience to walk alongside me and make sure that I was doing okay. God knew that I needed Simon in my life, and he was the right person at the right time for me. And this is just one of the big ideas that comes out of Ezra. It's the encouragement that God will continue to bring the right people at the right time into your situation. But on the flip side as well, you individually, you might be the right person at the right time for someone else. So I pray that Ezra, it has been an encouragement for you, and I pray today that you get to celebrate all the different men of your life who God has placed at the right time for you. Bless you guys.